Dr. Tully and the teenagers' current whereabouts are also unknown.
So if somebody said to me, I want to play the best survival game based in the ocean where I'm just, swimming around and finding new creatures, the obvious answer is Subnautica. It's not even close. That is the best game in that genre for that person, in my opinion. If I wanted to play a Wild West game, go on an adventure, robbing trains, riding horses, all that kind of stuff, I mean, the obvious answer to me is Red Dead Redemption 2. So if I wanted to play a game all about, being a kid shrunk down to the size of an ant and surviving against all the creatures in the back garden, kind of like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, but in a game form, the obvious answer is Grounded, or it was, but now we've got Grounded 2. So, Grounded 2 just released on early access, and it seems to be following the same blueprint as the first game. So I think it was July 2020, the first game released on early access. So they released like a chunk of the game, all the basic mechanics were in place. You could play as all the characters, and you were set loose on this backyard. I think it's 1990s, like America. The idea is you're shrunk down to the size of an ant or thereabouts, and so everything in the garden from that size obviously presents problems. You've got scorpions, you've got spiders, you've got all the different creatures. Some are threatening, some are not. Some are like ladybirds that are just wandering around, but if you attack them, they will become very, very angry with you. And the idea is to set up a base, start killing creatures, gathering resources, building weapons, building armor from all the like resources from the creatures. And yeah, it's just a very nice loop. The actual gameplay itself is pretty satisfying. And yeah, the Grounded 2 blueprint, like I said, is following the same direction. So gameplay aside for just a second, I think one of the most impressive aspects of Grounded, and obviously Grounded 2 now, is the aesthetic. The design team have done such an amazing job of getting all these different items and the world itself and making them look like they are gigantic around you. As you're walking around the garden, you'll come across all kinds of items which we take for granted every day, like a pencil, a Walkman. Well, maybe not a Walkman anymore. But yeah, these items like juice boxes, you say in America, I think, or discarded drinks cartons, maybe like a half-eaten apple, and they've not only made them visible, but they've also like made them gameplay elements. So, for example, I came across like a gigantic hot dog with like a huge chunk bitten out of it. That's actually a food source. So once you've designed an item that can break that down, that then becomes a resource you can use in the game. So I've been into the early access game now for about a week of Grounded 2, and while I've been playing, I've been posting screenshots on our on Discord server, and a few friends who played Grounded with me in a cooperative game. They at first they said, "Oh, you playing Grounded again?" I'm like, "No, I'm playing Grounded 2," and they're like, "Oh, right, okay. It looks very similar." And it does. The aesthetic, the design, the way the character moves, a lot of the different animations, they all look very similar, like really similar. So if you liked Grounded, you're going to like Grounded too. But if you didn't like it, then this game is definitely not going to be for you. I have noticed that the game's environments and the game's lighting especially has received like a huge bump in fidelity, especially. So, for example, the interior areas, I've noticed a lot more detail in objects. The way light bounces off certain materials. And yeah, just lighting in general seems to have been handled really well. Now, obviously, this is an early access game, and so you're going to expect problems, bugs, performance issues as a rule. Not all games have that. Some games launch in a pretty solid state. This has been okay so far. I've had like crashing issues. I've had like 7 crashes, which is problematic. Performance isn't great. I'll be honest. I'm running at the maximum settings on a 3080 Ti, and I'm getting around 25 to 30 frames a second. Sometimes goes up to 40, but it's around 30. And to me, that isn't the best. But then again, I have to accept that this game has a lot of geometry at all times. You've got massive blades of grass going off into the distance. You've got all these like very detailed creatures moving around, all running pretty complicated scripts. You've got some pretty high definition textures, and yeah, the whole thing is very impressive looking. So, I mean, my 3080 Ti now is getting on a bit. It seems weird saying that. It doesn't seem 5 minutes since that was like a brand new card. But yeah, it's getting a bit long in the tooth now in terms of like new technology. But yeah, anyone who gets an early access game has to accept, if they don't drive themselves crazy, that games are sometimes not ready to play. The performance won't be there, and you just have to take it as you find it. And if it's in a playable state, which this is, then we take it for a ride and see how it performs. I have also had a few very janky bugs as well. Obviously, no pun intended. One in particular, I had my ant ride or mount actually fall through the ground with my satchel. I died. I saw my satchel icon literally plummeting through the ground in the distance down towards wherever the game finishes. So yeah, that was interesting. And also that glitch then led to the game not really being able to process where my ant was, because as far as the game was concerned, my ant was now miles underground where I couldn't get to it, and that left the game's inventory system kind of like trying to figure things out. That still hasn't resolved itself, so that save now has essentially been like corrupted almost. But again, these things are, for early access to figure out, and I'm just making you aware of it. This game is not in a perfect state. So if you do buy it in early access, just be aware of that. So whenever you buy a game that's new, a sequel to a game, you want to know what features have coming along, what biomes are new, what characters are going to be doing. And in Grounded 2, the trailers have showed off one of the headline features, I think, is the mount system. So what you can do is you can go and like steal some eggs from an anthill and then bring them back to your base, put them in a hatchery, and then once you've done that, you can hatch these eggs and turn them into mounts. I found the mount systems to be pretty intuitive and well designed. Obviously, gardens and parks are not exactly the most level and stable places, and you've got grass everywhere. You got like all these objects in your way. So to make that system work, I suspect was a nightmare, and they've done pretty well. Like your ant bounces around, it's pretty fast. It can jump, it can get pretty high, and yeah, it's just a well designed system. I found it to be really good. The ant can also do other things, like it can tame other ants to help you in combat. It can carry loads of objects. It can chop down grass really fast. You can use it in combat yourself. You can like block and attack. So yeah, it's a pretty versatile system. And moving forward towards the end of what content we've got now, you're actually able to use a spider as well, an orb spider, which is very cool and obviously does more damage in combat and stuff. I hope that maybe they'll add flying mounts like bees or wasps, or maybe even butterflies, who knows. But yeah, there's a lot of potential for design there that I think they should definitely use. My only worry is that I remember when World of Warcraft added flying mounts, everyone was like going crazy to get them, and it's really cool, and it's really cool. But it also, in a way, shrinks the world. You feel like it's less intimidating, it's less epic when you can just jump on a flying mount and fly across an area. So if they do add flying mounts, that's something I would be aware of. But yeah, overall, very impressed with the mount system. Another element they've added, which when you think about it, it seems like a natural evolution, is they've added these Omni tools. So in the first game, you would you make a shovel, an axe, like something to pound the rocks and smash pebbles apart. Yeah, hammer. That's what it's called. And yeah, it works. You put it in your inventory and you carry them around with you whenever you needed them. You can guarantee that you would need them at some point, and then they'd be back at your base. So I think this is a really nice evolution. So what you've got now is just like an Omni tool, which does everything. And when you want to upgrade it to like the next tier of materials, you take it to the ranger station. You need to have them appropriate materials to upgrade, and if you have them, you upgrade it to tier 2, tier 3, and so on. And then obviously you can crack on and get your next tier of items. But yeah, it's just really nice to have all of them tools in just one place. And yeah, obviously now you look at it and you think, well, why didn't they do that before? But they have for the sequel. So yeah, fair play to them. Overall, I'm really impressed with what we got here so far. This is obviously the first content drop for the early access build, and we've got 4 areas. We've got quite a distinct difference in different regions. There's different animals, obviously new ones coming along, there's old ones returning, and yeah, this is a really good start, I think, for the game. The dialogue is interesting. I think the voice actors have got that same kind of like energy that came with the first one. I like the I don't know if she's the main enemy or if she's just like a sideline character, but the woman talking to you from the company, definitely well acted. So yeah, impressed with that. And yeah, just the whole thing is coming together nicely. Obviously, there's still bugs and performance issues, but like I've said prior, this is an early access game, and if you invest in an early access game, you have to accept that it's not going to be perfect. This is a work in progress, and they have got form for doing well with their prior game. They brought it all together. The story was added. It came to a pretty nice conclusion, I thought. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what they do next. So now we sit back and we wait for them to drop the next big content drop. Hopefully it'll be like a water area or something like that, but we'll see what they do. But yeah, if you love the first game and you can't wait to get into this until it's been completely finished, then I would highly recommend this early access build. So yeah, there we go. That's my preview for Grounded 2. If we get some really big, significant drops before the game goes into 1.0, which I suspect we will, I may do another video. In fact, actually thinking about it, I probably will do another video because the other content drops were so big. But that'll be it for now, guys. Thanks for stopping by. I just want to say a big thank you to all the people who subscribed to the channel so far. Really appreciate the support. Some of them are friends, but some of them are just like random people. You all make a big difference, and yeah, just keep watching the videos, and comments help apparently in the algorithm. And I will see you after my big move in the new studio. All right, guys, take care and look after yourselves. Bye.